I'm Tom Pastore, CEO and co-founder of Sanley Pastore and Hill. Welcome to this segment of Getting to Know You. So I was asked, what case or cases have I worked on that stand out to me in my career here at Sanley Pastore and Hill, or I'll call it SPH. Well, I think there's two areas. So back in the mid-2000s, there was a fledgling technology coming out in biotech called RNA. And we got to value several companies. And it was very challenging because this technology was new, but it held great promise in potentially being a cure for some serious diseases. So we did 5, 10, 20-year projections of development of various drugs. And I got to follow this industry over the years subsequent to that and become more involved in it. But out of all the serious afflictions we would be presented with that were potential cures, one was always at the bottom as least important, and that was respiratory virus condition. Well, we saw in the year 2020 that Pfizer and Moderna, using RNA in less than a year, came out with some of the most highly effective vaccines ever developed using that technology. So that's in the area of transactional work that a case stands out to me. The other case that stands out to me is a litigation assignment that we had, in fact, just last year. And it was in the Midwest, and it dealt with a nonprofit charity for a hospital. The founder of that had passed away, but his wife grew suspicious about the trustees' handling of that charity, because originally her husband had earmarked funds not just for the hospital, but for other charities that he wanted that to go to. So we did at Sanley Pastore and Hill, my team and I, did a forensic economic and accounting financial feasibility analysis of the last 30 years of the financial records of the charity. And we found more than $20 million of funds that could have been available for the other charities that were never sent to them and kept within the hospital charity. As a result, the Attorney General of the Midwestern state that the charity was located in became involved, and they forced a settlement of the trustee in which $11 million of those funds were sent to the other charities, which included children's causes and education for people below the poverty line. So I was quite pleased with the results of that and what we at SP&H were able to do for other charities. The other topic that I want to talk about are my favorite cases to work on. And I would say in the area of being an expert witness, it's any case where we have a lot of data, but it does not seem as complete as it should be. It's not sequential in nature, and we have to figure out a puzzle, not with just that data, but the testimony of people and depositions, our outside research, and brainstorming among our team members. So in those cases, all of us team members learn from each other, as we have to use a lot of reasoning, a lot of analysis, but also creativity to come up with credible results. The other types of cases I'm involved in that I really find particularly interesting or that I like are those involving renewable energy, because these technologies that are arising are hopefully going to help our society and our world in addressing the seriousness of climate change. So I've probably been involved in 50 renewable or alternative energy projects in the last 10 years. And I find them all very, very interesting. Now, I've been asked about if I have any productivity tips for working remotely. My main one is to avoid it as much as possible. It really helps to be working with people live, collaborating live. It helps in the development of newer people, and it also helps in my own personal development, and my other owners and principals of this business would agree with me on that. What's a go-to productivity trick? And I think really it's to take a break maybe twice a day and just try to unwind, even if it's just 2 minutes to as most as 10 minutes. Just let go of everything you're thinking about work-wise. And I think that helps you recover, relax, and look at things in a new way, or realize you have to talk with someone else. Two heads are better than one. Now, I'm often asked, why did I choose business valuation as a career? And I think there is never a dull moment in your career in business valuation, and also in forensic analysis and forensic accounting. And that's because these disciplines draw upon many different areas of knowledge. So economics, accounting, finance, human resources, marketing, and human psychology, to name a few. And also in business valuation, particularly at SP&H, we get involved in various types of businesses and many different industries of all different sizes. So each valuation is a new opportunity and challenge for me and my team members' development. I was the co-founder of Sanley Pastore and Hill. And the reason we started this firm is because at the time we felt that many lower middle market and middle market companies were not getting the quality of valuation work that should be provided. We just thought that we were seeing many business appraisers relying more on their judgment, and the worn out slogan that appraisal is more of an art than a science. Well, appraisal is a science. It's an analytical undertaking based upon a review of many different facts. Judgment does come into play in reaching a final valuation opinion, but that final opinion has to be supported with rigorous analysis into the company, its financial performance, both historically and projected forward, economic conditions, industry conditions, and competitive conditions. So at SP&H, since the founding of our firm, we placed emphasis on doing as much rigorous analysis as possible to support our opinion. And not only that, we did recognize that appraisers often got caught up in their own jargon, as do many professionals. But our ultimate product was being tailored for people that did not necessarily know all the terms of business valuation or were versed in valuation. So what we did early on is work on making sure that our narrative reports, executive summaries, charts, and other visual presentations were tailored towards lay people that could be on the board of directors of a corporation, that could be in a jury or a judge or other regulatory organizations that would be reviewing our reports. Now, shifting from my career for a second, I'd like to talk about a few hobbies that I have. One is cooking, and specifically Japanese, Italian, and French cuisines. The other thing is getting out into nature and hiking. And the third thing is I originally had a background in art in late high school and early college. And basically I've used that background to kind of guide me in collecting works from local artists, local young artists that are rising up in the Los Angeles region. The best advice, I think, in my opinion, I was ever given came from a meeting with Warren Christopher, who was the former Secretary of State under then President Bill Clinton for his first term. And Secretary Christopher, I asked him, what were the most important skills that you think a person can have that you've used in your life? And he said, by far, it was the ability to listen to someone and draw upon your moral background to judge it, but at the same time have empathy for their position, no matter how far it deviated from yours. The book that I'm reading now and actually rereading is Adam Smith's The Theory of Moral Sentiments. And he was an 18th century economist, known mostly for his work on the wealth of nations, which touts the benefits of the invisible hand guiding the economic system of capitalism to its success. But he wrote The Theory of Moral Sentiments before he wrote The Wealth of Nations. And from that book, he believed that in order for any economic system to be successful, the people that were functioning in it had to be morally grounded, have a sense of empathy for other people, have a sense of justice, have a sense of making decisions that were good for society. And it's a fascinating book written a while ago, and it really talks about the context of social psychology being more important in reasoning to get things accomplished in almost any type of system, government or the economy. And that's a little bit about me in this session of Getting to Know You. I'm always available if you have any questions on the topics of business valuation or forensic analysis. And I invite you to look through our website, www.sphvalue.com. And I wish you a good day. Thank you.